Good. Let's start for this morning. So just coming to a comfortable seat, maybe having a little wriggle around if you want to. Rolling the shoulders around a little bit, having a little move about. And just coming to a comfortable seat. So I'm sat up on a block here. You might want to do the same, or up on a cushion or a pillow. And settling in just for a few moments. You might want to close the eyes, or maybe just keeping the gaze soft down towards the ground. Just starting to bring our attention inwards, just checking in. How are you feeling this morning? And it's not actually raining where I am at the moment, but it's certainly rained a lot over the last few weeks. And you know, sometimes the weather the external weather has an influence on our internal weather. So just registering that perhaps. But how are we right now? And as much as we can, just letting go of the kind of judgments that sometimes come with questions and inquiries like that. You know, we label things as good or bad. Perhaps impossible to fully extricate ourselves from those judgments, but just noticing that that's what's happening. Just this process, this practice of noticing. So maybe noticing any physical sensations that might be becoming apparent to us. You know, how are the hips feeling, shoulders, neck, the head, both, you know, kind of physiologically and, you know, mentally, the kind of busy mind. And remembering that we're not trying to change anything here. We're not really trying to create this blank canvas of wonder and beauty. Perhaps very appropriately, my busy lounge is perhaps a little insight to how my mind feels right now. You know, this busyness that sometimes we carry with us. But checking in. Can we start to become aware of the breath? Softening hips to kind of feel a little closer to the ground, maybe through the sit bones or the legs, wherever we might be meeting the floor. And just that little lift through the spine, so as much as we root down, we can find that lift in connecting to the ground. So no problem if you're just joining us, just finding a comfortable seat to settle for a few moments. And just keep coming back, checking in. How are we? And you might even just want to drop the fingertips down towards the floor. So depending on how long your arms are, maybe just, you might be able to get your hand flat to the floor, or maybe just the fingertips, encouraging shoulders slightly back and down, and just the fingertips touching into the mat, and that kind of connection to the ground. And that rooting down to rise, pressing down slightly through the fingertips perhaps, that softening of the hips to feel the sit bones and the legs settle towards the floor to allow that lift through the spine, lengthening through the arms, dropping down at the shoulders, crown of the head gently rising upwards. And just remembering to keep the eyes soft, whether they're open or closed. Sometimes we find that you know, the little muscles around the eyes start to tense up a little bit when we get lost in thought. Gently just re-softening. And then just gently lifting the fingertips up off the floor, maybe slowly starting to inhale as we lift our hands up towards the sky. And maybe taking the hands into that little kind of like a Y shape, reaching up towards the sky. You might even lift the gaze to look upwards, opening the throat. Again, that rooting down to rise. Feel the connection with the floor as much as we're lifting up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky. And then slowly releasing the hands back down by the sides. And then taking the hands onto the knees, we're just going to play with a little mudra meditation. So mudra is usually shapes that we make with the hands. And we do Anjali mudra a lot, of course, but there are lots of others. And so, you know, this is just something to play with, just other, you know, things to consider. So first of all, chin mudra. So taking the thumb and the index fingers gently together, just placing them gently together, the other fingers open. Chin mudra. And just resting the backs of the hands onto the thighs or the knees. Again, keeping the chest nice and open, that lifted sensation. Just notice the breath again, sensations, opening, softening. And the mudras are really just another way to focus our attention and focus energies in the body, if we want to go there. So maybe just silently, quietly repeating in your head as we just stay with this mudra for a second. I am grounded. I am grounded. And then taking the hands up to around the belly button and just placing the thumb, index finger together again, but with the other other fingers kind of released and pointing down, and just holding that gently over the kind of belly button area. I am strong. I am strong. And then our old friend Anjali Mudra, palms together, fingertips touching, thumb maybe gently resting gently on the sternum. I am kind. I am kind. And then keeping the thumb and little fingers together and the base of the palms together, and just opening up the middle fingers, so index finger, third finger, ring fingers, opening up like a flower, lotus mudra, and just lifting that a little higher towards the throat. I am open. I am open. And then gently taking the hands back up overhead, opening them out a little bit into that Y shape. I am supported. I am supported. And then gently allowing the hands to release back down onto the thighs or the knees. Notice the next breath all the way in and slowly all the way out. And gently just turning to, I'm going to head to the left, so just gently into a twist, either taking the right hand across or keeping it on the right knee, whichever one. Dropping the shoulders down, maybe bringing the head round towards center again, maybe dipping the chin slightly, just feeling the left side of the neck and the shoulder extending a little bit. And then releasing that shape, coming around to the other side when you're ready. Crossing the left hand over or keeping it a little bit more open, depending on how you're feeling this morning. Lifting up through the spine and then encouraging that twist a little bit with the hands. Nothing too strong. Keeping the shoulders down and maybe bringing the head back round towards the front there. Dipping the chin slightly, feel the back of the neck, the side of the neck. Just lengthening. And release. Giving the shoulders a bit of a twirl back and round. Give the wrists a little move around if you'd like to. Rocking back onto your bum a little bit. Give the feet a little shake out if that feels useful. Crossing them in the other direction, so whichever one was in front, take it behind. You might want to get rid of your support here or not. Either way is absolutely fine. And just gently extending the arms forward, dipping the head towards the floor. Really doesn't matter how far down we get. Kind of that, just that feeling of drawing the sit bones back and reaching the fingertips forward. And then gently coming back to center. Let's take the left hand down, right arm lifting up, inhale, and then take it over to the side. Little side stretch here, pressing into that hand on the floor a little bit to almost open the rib cage out towards the right a little bit more. And if this feels too strong for the arm, you might just take the hand onto the shoulder, hand to the hip. Really no problem. You know, these are all just options, remembering that yoga is voluntary. You know, there's no must-dos. And then when you're ready, releasing that side, lifting up through the other arm and coming over into that side stretch. And just gently resisting, you know, the collapsing down. So we're pressing into the floor a little bit, as if we're trying to really lift and open out towards the left or whichever side you're heading to. And then releasing the top arm all the way down. And again, circle the shoulders, rolling forward over the feet. And let's come to all fours. So give the hips a little wriggle around. Give the feet a little tap if cross-legged it feels quite intense, which it certainly can do. So just having a little wriggle here, and then finding our tabletop position. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, length from the crown of the head to the tailbone. And really thinking, we did this a couple of weeks ago, I think, thinking about the whole spine moving here. So as we come into our, let's go to cow pose first. So we're going to gently drop the belly down and open the chest forward. Think about the tailbone, moving from the tailbone. So the tailbone kind of starts the movement as we start to dip the tailbone down, let that lead the rest of the spine. So we're not just kind of moving up and down from the middle back. We're really thinking about the tailbone starting the movement off and then lifting through the center, crown of the head draws down, opening up across the shoulders. And again, so starting from the tailbone, let that lead the rest of the movement. Opening the chest forward slightly, opening the throat. So to really find the movement through the whole spine, we might need to really slow this down. So just notice how, these are shapes that, certainly if you've been doing yoga for a while, how many yoga classes have we done? How many times have we done cow and cat? But, sort of reassessing how we approach these movements to really feel the whole spine moving. To notice if we've fallen into other patterns, which we all do. So maybe one more of each. Dropping the crown of the head, the tailbone down, lifting the belly up. Let the tailbone guide the movement, so we're really moving through the whole spine to find that nice cow pose here. And then coming back to neutral. And again, let's just circle the hips around. And maybe in the other direction. And maybe then get the shoulders involved as well. And the neck and the head. Lovely. Good. And then let's just extend the arms forward. So knees stay below the hips. Reaching the hands forward until the forehead can come down to the floor or onto a block. Reaching fingertips away. Think about the heart melting towards the floor. And then gently just lifting the head, we're going to start to draw forward, so keep the elbows down, maybe slide the forearms forward slightly, as we bring the hips down and into our Sphinx pose. So releasing the feet, drawing the shoulders gently back, opening the heart forward, soften your bob a little bit, maybe rock over the hips slightly. So Sphinx pose, again, think of the heart just gently opening, extending forwards, drawing the shoulders slightly back and down. The head is soft, relax the face. A gentle pressing into the ground, a rooting down to rise. Good. And then gently just lifting the elbows to take them out left to right a little bit. Taking the forehead slowly down. Bring the hands back to about chest level. Hook the belly in. Let's lift up over the knees and back into child pose. So finding a child pose variation that works for you this morning. You might want to take the knees slightly wider. You might want to keep the knees together. Maybe arms reaching forward, maybe arms down by the sides. All of these are options at any point. So forehead might be on the floor, or it might be on a block or a pillow. It might be slightly lifted. You might want to move the forearms in. We could rock slightly over the forehead, just massaging the brow bone into the ground. And then when you're ready, inhale, bring the hands forward if they're not already, lifting back to all fours. Take the hands slightly ahead of the shoulders, spread the fingers nice and wide. Tuck the toes under, we're coming into downward facing dog. So inhale, draw the hips back. Exhale, downward facing dog. So of course you can keep this little bit of movement going, walking out the backs of the legs, spreading the fingers nice and wide, starting to energize through the thumb, index finger, little finger. Focused energies. Think about opening up across the back of the shoulders, pressing into the ground, lifting the tailbone. Legs might lengthen out or maybe not. Keep the knees soft if that's what feels good for you this morning, no problem. So drawing the belly gently in and up. So maybe as we come into this stronger pose, the breath naturally starts to come into a little ujjayi breath, that threading of the breath through the back of the throat, through the nose. And then inhale, look forward between the hands, walk, step the feet towards the top of the mat or thereabouts. Feet are nice hip distance apart, knees nice and soft. Give the shoulders a little shimmy around, head a little shake and a nod. Give the hands a little shake out as well. Maybe turn the wrists a few times. So of course here, it might be that fingertips are to the floor. You might want to rest your forearms on the thighs a little bit. So we're all doing the same work, no problem. And again, you might just allow a little bit of swaying or stillness. So when you're ready, we're going to lift to our halfway point, so upwards uttanasana. So slowly starting to lengthen through the legs a little bit, lifting the spine, extending the crown of the head forward, that rooting down to rise, pressing down through the soles of the feet, reaching the crown of the head forward. And then with an exhale, back into the forward fold. Lovely. When you're ready, rolling up through the spine if that's okay for you. So coming all the way up slowly, shoulders, neck, head last of all. Roll the shoulders all the way back. Let's take the arms out left to right if you can. I know everyone's space is different, so adjust if you need to on your mat. Reaching out to the sides, extend, and then we're going to take the right arm over the top of the left and just give yourself like a big hug. So if you can, you might reach behind the back and take hold of kind of the shoulder blades, lifting the elbows slightly, and then kind of as we exhale, maybe hugging in a little deeper, dipping the nose in towards your arms, the chin towards the chest. And then inhale, open out left to right again. And exhale, wrapping left arm over right. Take that nice hug high up on the chest. Lift the elbows slightly. Inhale, exhale, kind of curl into it a little bit. And then inhale, open the arms out left to right again. And exhale, we'll float back down into forward fold. Relax the crown of the head down. Give the shoulders a little shimmy if you'd like to. Inhale, lift to halfway. Upward Uttanasana. And exhale, back down into forward fold. Hands to the floor. Right foot stepping back. And we'll take a little lunge here. So have a little wriggle around. Again, maybe kind of wriggling through the hips. We'll take the right knee down when you're ready. Left ankle underneath the left knee. Lifting slowly, press into that front foot to lift high through the fingertips, extend upwards, and slowly releasing hips a little further down. Keep reaching up through the fingertips and releasing hands down to the floor. Lifting the back knee up. Let's keep the right hand down, left arm reaching up to the sky, 6 o'clock arms, twisting towards the inner left thigh here. Keep drawing that right heel back. And then taking the top arm all the way back down to the floor. Big step forward with the right foot, back into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Press through the feet, nice soft knees as we take the arms wide or forwards and lift all the way to standing. Tadasana, palms meet overhead and draw back down. Anjali Mudra, a little check-in. Thumbs might rest against the sternum, shoulders, elbows slightly back. Then through the back of the neck. Lovely. Inhale, take the prayer to the sky, look to thumbs. Exhale, arms wide or forward as we fold down from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, upward Uttanasana, shoulders back and down, back rather, elbows in. So exhale, back into forward fold. Distracted mind. Fingertips to the floor. Left leg steps back into our lunge. Have a little wriggle around here if you'd like to. When you feel ready, dropping the left knee down to the floor. Right ankle underneath the right knee. Gently start to hover fingertips up off the ground. Engage that front foot, rooting down to rise. As we lift up high through the fingertips, ease the hips forward and down. Just feel the sensations shift into maybe that left thigh, the left hip. Where are we feeling sensation? And then releasing hands down to the floor. Completely optional, of course, to lift this back leg, but if you'd like to, we can do that now. Or keep the knee down. The left hand is going to stay down as right hand lifts up to the sky. Reach up high, extend upwards. And then taking the top arm all the way back and down. And to the floor. Big step forward with the left foot, back into forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, soft knees to bow. Press through the feet, arms sweep forward or wide as we lift high. Reach up, palms together and back through to the hearts. Use this place just to check in again. Shoulders, elbows soft, crown of the head rising up. Equal standing across the feet. We might just shift the weight slightly. Pressing the hands gently together. And then when you're ready again, nice soft knees, sweep the arms wide or forward and lift high. Look to thumbs if you want to. Exhale down the other side, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, upward Uttanasana, create that length through the spine. Exhale, soft knees to back. So we're going to come to standing again here, but onto one leg. So a little balance. So we're going to take the weight over into the right leg, bend into that right knee, take the arms out left to right a little bit and start to pick up the left knee as we stand up. Reaching up overhead if you want to with the fingertips. Keep the knee lifted a little higher and then step it back into a high lunge. Good. Inhale, fingertips reach up to the sky. Exhale, settle a little deeper into that lunge shape perhaps. Sending that left heel away. Reaching up through the fingertips, lifting the heart. Sending the left heel away. Did I say that already? It's been a long morning, guys. And then bring the palms together and hands through to heart center. Lovely. Shoulders, elbows, soft. Little smile. Full breath. Good. Inhale, lift a little higher. And then take the arms out left to right. Let's take this into a warrior three. So we'll see if we can just pick up that back foot, extend through the right leg, have a little hover here. The toe might be, we might be finding this T shape. We might be just playing with lifting the back toe up off the floor. Wherever we are is absolutely gorgeous stuff. And then gently landing the feet together. Sweeping the hands up to the sky. Exhale into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to pick up the right foot here. So start to lift the arms up left to right like little wings, big wings. And then lifting that right knee. Lengthening through the left leg. Lift the right knee a little higher. If you want to take arms up overhead, we can. Keep the gaze steady, still smiling. And then send it back into a high lunge. Reach up through the fingertips. Settle in when you're ready. Sending that right heel away. Keep the heart lifted, finding those rooting, grounded points so that we might lift a little higher with strength. Good, and then releasing the hands down. Maybe take them out left to right as we find our warrior three here. So hovering that back foot up off the floor. Keep the chest lifted, the shoulders nice and broad. Lengthening through that standing leg. Good, and then landing the feet together on purpose. And coming back to Tadasana. Maybe just taking the hands down by the side, so we've got Samastiti. Maybe taking the palms slightly forward, lifting through the crown of the head. And then when you're ready, hands back to heart center, thumbs resting against the sternum. We might dip the chin towards the chest. And then lifting the head back to center, taking the prayer up overhead. Take the arms out to shoulder width apart. Keep the feet fairly close together, but yogi's choice here. If it feels better for you to be hip distance apart, then that's absolutely fine too. Sitting down into Utkatasana. So we're going to sit down on our little stool behind us. Keep reaching up through the fingertips, dropping the sit bones, the tailbone down a little bit. Check that we're not kind of sticking our bum out too far, that we can kind of lengthen out through the tailbone. So thighs maybe starting to tell us some stuff here. Check that we're not kind of drawing our knees beyond our toes. If that's happening, see if we can draw back a little bit. So almost our shins are kind of, what's the word? Vertical to the floor. There we go. Lovely. So hold it here, still breathing. Good. Hands come together and through to heart center. Let's see if we can find a little twist here. So we're going to bring the right elbow over the left thigh. Palms together, elbows out to the floor and to the sky. Press the palms together if you can, and turning the heart towards the palms. Good. Strong twist. Lovely. Release, and let's come all the way up to standing. Ah, sweet relief. Release the hands down back to Samastiti. Palms out to the front. lift through the crown of the head. So again, just check in with the feet, spread the toes, heels down. Lifting the arms up overhead, maybe taking a prayer first of all, look to thumbs, and then taking arms to about shoulder width apart, gaze forward, and then sitting down, Utkatasana. So get rid of the kind of ski slopey bum. So see if you can kind of tuck your tailbone under slightly. And then we're going to come into our twist. So moving to the opposite side. So I'm going to take my left elbow over the right thigh. Maybe do that first, kind of squeeze it in. And then palms one on top of the other. Press the palms together. Think about drawing, lifting the heart towards the thumbs. You might look to the ceiling. You might look down to the floor. Maybe kind of just beyond your fingertips. Yogi's choice. Still smiling. Press the palms together. Strong sensation. And then release and lifting all the way up. Good stuff. Sweep the arms wide or forwards and fold. Oh, don't fall over. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Upwards Uttanasana. Exhale, soft knees to bow. Hands to the floor. Let's step both feet back into plank. Feel free to drop the knees, of course. Press the ground away. As we really press the ground away, feel the back open. How that kind of influences sensation in the chest muscles engaging, that opening, strength. Press down through fingertips. Send the heels away if the knees are lifted. Think about lifting the belly up. And then when you're ready, knees down if they're not already, and coming all the way down onto the belly. Untuck the toes, shoulders back, elbows in as we lift the heart to cobra. Little tiny lift of the heart, doesn't need to be much. Shoulders stay down, elbows into the side. Gently softening back towards the floor, hands a little scooch back, hook the belly in. Let's lift up and over the knees and back into child pose. Forehead finding the ground or onto a block, onto your arms, whatever's comfortable. Hands forward, hands back. Yogi's choice. So let the neck soften, maybe rocking the head slightly side to side. And then when you're ready, slowly lifting to all fours. Maybe circle through the hips. One direction and then the other direction. And maybe get the shoulders involved as well. Moving the hands just a small step forward from the shoulders. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, draw the hips back. Exhale, down facing dog. So think about drawing the shoulder blades out left to right so they're kind of wrapping around the outer sides of the body. Maybe lifting all the way up onto tiptoes, bend deeply into the knees and press the ribcage back towards the thighs. Or that kind of idea, that lengthening through the side body. Maybe starting to bring heels down, but maybe not, that's fine. Lovely. Inhale, look forward between the hands, walk, step, hop the feet forwards into forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, back down the other side. Press through the feet, arms sweep wide or forwards, and lift high. Palms together overhead and back through to heart center. Let's interlace the fingers here and press the palms away, thumbs down. So separate the thumbs out and press the palms away. Keep the belly gently drawing in, lifting the palms up towards the sky, reach higher. Press down through the big toe, little toe, center of the heels, and then take this gently over to one side. So again, we're kind of resisting the collapse into one side. We're resisting the movement over to the side as if we're resisting it. So we're not actually doing it. But that kind of activation through the lengthened side of the body. Come back to center and over to the other side. Stronger breath and come back to center. Turn the palms together and bring the hands back through to the heart. Shoulders, elbows back, lifting through the crown of the head. Lovely, pause here. Just gently pressing the palms together. Good. And then inhale, nice soft knees, rooting down to rise again as we lift up high. Palms together overhead and then send them wide or forward as we fold from the hips down. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, upward Uttanasana. Exhale, soft knees to bow. Hands to the floor. Stepping the right leg back into our lunge. So right knee down, just as we did before. Left ankle underneath the left knee. Slowly lifting up, reaching up high, activating that front foot. Easing down slowly with control. Bring the palms together overhead and then bring the hands through to the heart. Elbows out left to right, so we're not kind of having loosey-goosey elbows. I'm going to come here so you can see. Lovely. So again, we're going to find a twist here. So I'm going to bring my right elbow over the left thigh. Kind of wriggle that in, one palm on top of the other. Press the palms together. Here might be enough just playing with this. Or tuck the back toes under and maybe see if you can lift that back knee. So keep pressing the palms together, draw the belly in, send that back heel away if you've chosen to lift the knee. All variations are equal, by the way. There are no levels. It just is. Lovely. And then gently releasing the twist. Bring the hands down and see if you can step the left foot back to meet the right. I'm going to spin around again here. Into plank. Knees up or knees down. Press the ground away. Feel that opening up across the chest, across the back. And then knees, chin and chest down to the floor. Through into our little cobra here. Shine the heart forward. Lifting up over the knees. Let's drop back into child pose. Forehead finding the floor. Let the shoulders release. Give the hands a little wriggle around here, maybe circle the wrists, wriggle the fingers, rock the head side to side. Lovely. And then inhale, lifting to all fours. Again, let's find that cow and cat movement from the tailbone. So when you're ready, inhale and think about lifting the tailbone up, let that drop the belly, and then opening the chest, opening the throat, lifting the crown of the head, and then again from the tailbone, move it into our cat pose. So moving from the lower back, through the middle back, the neck, the chin tucks towards the chest perhaps, and then come back to neutral. Send the hands slightly ahead of the shoulders, spread the fingers nice and wide, tuck the toes under and draw the hips back. Inhale with the exhale, lifting up into our downward facing dog. Again, find that expanse across the shoulders, that lift up through the tailbone. Full deep breath. Maybe that ujjayi breath, threaded breath through the nose, through the back of the throat, that gentle ocean sound. Let that be the guide. Inhale, look forward between the hands, walk, step, hop the feet forwards into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, upward Uttanasana. Exhale, soft knees to bow. Press through the feet, arms sweep forward or wide as we lift high, reach up, palms meet overhead and draw back through to heart center. Just take a moment for the blood in the head to kind of settle a little bit if you feel a bit spacey. Hands down by the sides, palms gently forward, Samasthiti, equal standing. Think about the roots down through the feet and the lift up through the crown of the head. When you're ready, bring the hands through to heart center, thumbs resting against the sternum or breastbone. Full deep breath here. Slow exhale. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms forward or wide and lift high. And down the other side, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, upward Uttanasana. Fingertips against the thighs or the shins, maybe to the floor. And releasing down. Hands to the floor. Left foot stepping back this time. I'm going to spin around here so you can see. And we'll find our lunge. So dropping that left knee down, right ankle underneath the right knee, lifting slowly. Engage that front leg to rise up. Lifting up high through the fingertips, easing forward, slightly through the hips perhaps. Bring the palms together and through to the heart. Find our twist from here. So maybe wriggling that left elbow over the right thigh, palms together. Think about, so we're not kind of just having loosey-goosey arms. Press them together, elbows up to the sky and down to the floor. Maybe taking the option to tuck the back toes under and lift that back knee. Strong breath again, that Ujjayi breath. Find a smile. Maybe. Check that we're not crunching into the neck. There's a balance here as well. Notice sensations. Lovely. Find a moment more. And then gently we'll start to release. Hands down to the floor, scooping the right foot back to meet the left into plank. Press the ground away. And then knees, chin and chest, down to the floor and through onto the belly. Shoulders back, elbows in as we lift the heart to cobra. And releasing down. Let's find a little locust pose here. So we're going to really activate the lower back here to lift the shoulders and lift the legs up off the floor. So maybe hands under shoulders, maybe arms down by the sides, yogi's choice. Inhale. And when you're ready, squeeze and lift. Really extend through the toes. Fingertips might just rest on the ground slightly, but they're not really doing anything much there. Think about drawing the shoulders back. Keep lifting, lifting, lifting. And release. Just rest the head to one side. Consider this a little mini Shavasana. And then if you want to change the direction of the head, just look in the other direction. And then gently bringing the hands back to about chest level, hug the belly in, lifting up, press the ground away and back into child pose. Shoulders gently ease away from the spine. Pausing here again, just noticing the breath. Can we really notice the next breath? And then slowly we'll start to bring ourselves back to all fours, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Again, if you want to circle the hips here, we can. Maybe rock the hips side to side. Get the shoulders involved if that feels good. Kind of get the neck involved as well, nice and gently. Lovely. And then let's keep the hands where they are and just lifting the right leg up and back. So we might circle the ankle here. So with that right leg lifted, just check that we're not collapsing into the left side, that we keep the hands, both hands active, both arms extended. And then from the ankle, let's start to get the knee involved. So imagine that you're drawing a big circle with your right knee. So really moving from the hip, but the circle is with the knee. That makes sense. And then maybe we could start to make that a little bigger. So imagine that you're trying to touch the back of your left forearm and then your right forearm and then take it all the way back. So, you know, kind of like a big triangle shape. There we go. So a nice big movement here. And then extending that right leg again. Give it a good shake, shake, shake. And bring the knee down. Same thing to the left side. So left leg rises up. Check we're not collapsing into the right. Circle the left ankle. Point and flex the foot. And then that big circle with the left knee from the hip. So really, you know, kind of turn it out to the side. You can see my cheeks as I'm falling into my right arm here. And then see if we can kind of touch to the right elbow, left elbow, and then all the way back. Right elbow, left elbow, all the way back. And again, right elbow, left elbow, all the way back and down. Dropping back into kneeling. And let's give the wrists a little shake out here and circling the wrists. And then bringing the hands together. So whichever way you naturally clasp the hands, link the fingers, do it the other way. So whichever index finger is usually on top, take it underneath. And again, we'll turn the palms out, thumbs point down, drop the shoulders down, lifting up through the crown of the head, and taking the palms up overhead, reach high. Just relaxing the face. Dropping shoulder blades down the spine a little bit. Stay with it for a moment longer, still breathing. And slowly releasing. Shoulders scooping back. And give the hands and arms a good jiggle, jiggle. Lovely. And then gently coming forwards back to all fours for a moment. Give the feet a little tap about. Hands slightly ahead of the shoulders. Let's lift up into downward facing dog. So we'll just use this as our little transition here. Of course, if you want to stay on hands and knees, absolutely fine to do that. So from here, just like we just picked up a leg at a time, we'll do the same thing. Maybe stepping the left foot slightly to the center of the mat and then lifting the right leg up. So keep pressing into the fingertips, lengthening through both arms, really lift up through that right leg. Three-legged dog, flex the foot so the toes are pointing down. Stronger breath. And then let's see if we can bend that right knee and touch to the left elbow. So bring the weight forward, touch to the left elbow and send it all the way up and back. And then bring it forward to touch to the right elbow. So right knee, right elbow. Bring the weight forward slightly with control and send it all the way up and back. Lovely. Left elbow again. Exhale as we draw forward and draw back. And draw forward, right elbow, right knee to right elbow, and all the way up and back. This time we're going to come into pigeon pose. So we're going to bring the right knee towards the right wrist and bring it to the floor. The lower leg is going to cross slightly, kind of across the mat. So if I switch around here. Good. And then gently kind of drawing the left leg back. So this right leg is kind of slightly crossed. Depending on how open your hips are feeling, you might have a different angle there. Be careful of knees. If there is any resistance here in the knees, don't worry about it. It's not compulsory. None of it is. We're all here for fun. So we've got other options. We can take a seated eye of the needle or a reclined eye of the needle. So if your knees, or if it just doesn't feel like the right thing for you this morning, are saying no to pigeons, then eye of the needle, lovely alternative. If you want to explore this pigeon, however, lifting up through the heart. So again, that rooting down to rise. So where can we find grounding here? And if you feel unstable, let's stick a block or a cushion underneath your right hip. See if that helps, just to steady the base. Lifting the heart. And then if you want to, maybe slowly, gently, extending forwards. So you might just rest onto forearms. We might come all the way down to the floor. You know, again, this kind of wisdom of listening, responding with kindness. Can we actually do it rather than forcing or thinking, oh, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. I'll put up with it. You don't need to put up with it. It's all voluntary. Here for a good time. So find that place where there's something going on, you know, it's interesting, the sensations to observe, but it's not overwhelming. We're not gritting our teeth. And just the same if you're taking the eye of the needle options, you know, find that place where there's something going on, but we can still breathe with ease. Close the eyes or just soften the gaze. See if we can take 3 more full breaths here. Just very quietly, gently counting the breaths, if that's helpful. And then at the end of your 3 breaths, we can start to lift back up onto hands a little bit. Start to press the ground away so you can scoop that back leg all the way out. You might just want to come to all fours and stretch that right leg away, maybe lift it up and give it a shake, shake, shake. And then bring the knee back down. So either moving from this tabletop position or coming back into downward facing dog. And make it count. So we press the fingertips into the floor, thumb, index finger, little finger. Find the roots, the feet, toes are spread, that lifting through the tailbone, that energy drawing down through the backs of the legs maybe. And then lifting the left leg up. So left leg extending, let's flex the foot first of all, so 3-legged dog, check that we're not collapsing into one side. Stronger breath. And then let's touch the left knee to right elbow, bring the weight forward and send it all the way from back. Left knee to left elbow, bring the weight forward, send it all the way from back. And right elbow again. Send it all the way up and back. And then bringing the left knee to left wrist and cross the lower leg underneath the body slightly. And draw that back leg away. So I'll show you from this angle this time. So again, just playing with that angle of the lower leg and, you know, supporting the body, finding the strong foundations so that we can rise a little higher. Find that grounded, you know, security. Opening up the heart forward. Of course, switching round to either needle, either seated or reclining, if you prefer. And noticing too how different each side will feel. You know, we are asymmetrical. We are not, you know, we're obviously the whole practice is about finding balance, but you know, we're not. So, you know, honoring that, noticing that. And then when you're ready, maybe finding that movement forward, onto elbows, down to the floor. All options are equal. And just noticing where we can soften. You know, this is a big shape, it's a strong pose. There most likely will be places of some intensity, but you know, coming to that with a gentleness that, you know, allows ease, that we're not pushing, not enduring. Maybe also noticing where we can soften, where there are areas of release. So seeing if we can bring our attention back to the breath. Three more breaths. And at the end of your three, very slowly with care and attention, bringing hands back to the floor or releasing legs from the eye of the needle shape. Pressing into the ground, tuck the back toes under, let's lift that back, the front leg all the way back. Maybe coming into downward dog, give it a little shake, or maybe coming into our tabletop position to give it a little shake, shake, shake. And then gently, we'll just rock back into child pose. Reach the fingertips forward, draw the tailbone back. And then painting the hands back towards the knees, lifting up to kneeling. And then again, just taking the arms out left to right. Reach out as wide as you can. And then coming back into right over left. So we're going to come into our eagle arms as an option. So wrapping the arms at the elbows, or kind of the upper arms, and then the elbows squeeze together. Palms together, lift the elbows, and then drop the shoulders down. And maybe bring the hands slightly away from the face. If that's not an option for you this morning, then taking the hands around the body, you know, again, just as we did before, lift the elbows slightly and dip the chin with the exhale. So eagle arms or a nice hug. And then opening up the arms again, lift to right, reach, 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 pull in opposite directions as wide as you can. And then left over right. Twist as high up as you can, as if you're trying to get the palms together, wrap the arms around each other, drop the shoulders down and lift the elbows. And then see if you can bring the hands away from the face. So we're kind of encouraging this movement away. Or we're taking a nice hug, lift the elbows, and kind of maybe find more room into it with the breath. So eagle arms, Gamakasana, and then release, take the arms out left to right, hands down onto the thighs, give the shoulders a nice roll back, jiggle the arms about, chin towards the chest, feel the back of the neck open, maybe just very gently rock the chin side to side, and then back to center and lifting back to kind of neutral. Taking the hands forward, sweep the feet out to the side, feet to the floor, sit your bum in the middle of the mat and roll yourself down. So, you know, find a comfortable place to soften here. You might want to bring knees into the chest and just have a little rock and roll about. Maybe just gently taking knees over to one side. Take the arms out wide. And then bring the knees back to center. Over to the other side. Look away from your knees. And bring the legs back to center. Feet to the floor. Extend the legs away. If you've got a handy sofa to hand, you might want to just drape your legs over the sofa seat, up a wall. All of these are options. We've only got a minute or two, so finding a place where there is no effort, just a few moments of stillness. And we move the spine in all its many directions and capabilities. Just taking a moment now to soften towards the ground. The eyes relax into the sockets. Softening the jaw, inside the throat, inside the shoulders. Just softening, softening, softening. And again, maybe just that little whisper of a voice. I am supported. I am supported. So as ever, feel free to stay here for longer. Or if you feel ready to move on, then just gently bring some awareness back to fingers and toes. Rocking the back of the head from side to side. And when you're ready, gently rolling over to whichever side feels best for you this morning. Gently making your way through to sitting. Coming back to the seat we began with. Feeling the ground beneath us, the space around us, and the strength rising up through the center of the body, through the crown of the head. The balance between the earth and the sky. May we be happy. May we all be healthy. May all beings everywhere be peaceful and free. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste. Have a lovely weekend, and I hope to see you very soon. We're here next week.